so crazy. Like, I can't believe I'm already here. I'm going to be 18 on March 17th. How? It's crazy. It's crazy that I'm going to be a legal adult now. I know. I look 12, but I am just about to turn 18, and it's just crazy. So I wanted to talk about the topic of turning 18 with chronic illness. If you don't know me, my name is Haley. I have mitochondrial disease and several other chronic illnesses, and I am never going to be fully independent physically. Maybe at some point financially, but physically I will never be independent. I will always need a caregiver because having multiple chronic illnesses, each day is new and it is marked with new territory and new struggles, and I can wake up tomorrow morning and be so sick. There's no predictability with chronic illness, and something that I didn't realize until like this past year is like what goes into it legally and medically when you have a chronic illness when you become a legal adult. Once you turn 18, when you become a legal adult in the United States, your parents are no longer privy to your medical records. They can't go in with you to doctor's appointments. They can bring you there, but they can't go in the room. And there are so many more factors to it as well, and something that me and my parents, that has been my decision that I have wanted to pursue, is to get my parents the medical power of attorney. I believe that's what it's called. I could have the wording off, but it's basically if I were ever in a situation where I was unconscious, where I couldn't comprehend enough to make a medical decision, a big one, my parents would be the one they would go to and they would listen to. And it is a full legal thing. A lawyer does have, or attorney I guess, has to draw it up, and it's binding. So my parents we are going to be doing that in the next month or two probably, just because I'm someone who, my mom and my dad, I trust them with every ounce of my being, and not just because they're my parents, but because we are such like a full on team when it comes to medical decisions. And they've always had it where they discuss the pros and cons, but over the past 3 years I would say they wouldn't give me their opinion. They would say, this is your body, this is your choice. If you are uncomfortable with this, you are allowed to say something. And even as a minor, when technically they could control my decisions, they still left it up to me. And I think that one thing is why I immediately wanted to go to a medical power of attorney, is because I trust both of my parents, and I love everyone in my life, and besides God, my parents are the only people I trust with making the right medical decisions. I love everyone else in my family. So is my doctors. I don't want anybody making any medical decisions for me, just because me and my parents know me inside and out. So I can still have my parents in the hospital with me. I can still have them at my doctor's appointments. They can access my medical records and my blood labs, and it's going to be a lot stressful, and I know not everybody has a relationship like that with their parents, so something like this isn't necessarily something they would strive for. And I would say to that, just keep pushing. If you are in need of a caregiver and certain people in your family aren't capable, keep pushing and keep going with that. And now this one thing that I'm going to be talking about is, I think, honestly the most stressful. Medical power of attorney isn't stressful for me. Like, I've known about that. I have planned to do that for the past 1.5 years, 2 years. That wasn't anything really new. But the biggest thing when you turn 18 is if you have pediatric cardiologist, pediatrician, pediatric GI. Once you turn 18, you're declared a legal adult, and you have to find new doctors. And the thought of finding new doctors after I literally spent my entire 16, 17 years of life trying to find the right doctors, even after we found my geneticist. And even after we found my geneticist, it took so long for me to find a good GI, to find a good cardiologist, to find a good pediatrician. And it's like, I literally just found all my doctors and like the thought of losing them made me want to cry. I was secure with my geneticist because he had mentioned he would see me indefinitely, so he's not just confined to pediatrics, thankfully. But pediatricians are obviously for pediatric patients, and my pediatrician, oh my gosh, I love her. She has saved my life. She has helped my body. Guys, she is like one of my biggest advocates ever. Like she gets things happening, and I really didn't want to lose her, and thankfully she can see me until I'm at least 25. After then it's completely unknown, then I would probably have to find a new doctor, but with her I can see her until I'm 25, and like that was such a relief, because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to find a doctor in state. Like that's just not, or it's going to be a doctor up north. So I'm very glad I have her. My GI said he can continue to see me as well, thankfully, and we actually haven't seen him in a while, which is good. But he said he can still keep me on as a patient, and my cardiologist, it was, I think like she was this second like specialty doctor I was worried about, just because she knew what MIDO is, mitochondrial diseases, and she knows what POTS is, and she knows like my heart history and how I have a heart defect, which is like doesn't affect me, but it still needs to be monitored yearly. And I was like, Lord, please just like help us through this. And she said because of my heart defect, I can see her for my life, whole life, and I'm so grateful. And I feel so sad that this isn't the reality for so many people, that they get to keep on their doctors and they get to keep on their hospitals that they've been in, and we're still kind of in a little bit of murky water with the hospital I've been going to the past 3 years with when anything arises. I believe they can see me until I'm at least 25 as well, or even longer. I don't know. All I know is complex care cases are a little bit more roomy in terms of age going into the hospital, but it's so stressful becoming 18 because unlike, I mean, if I was an atypical 18-year-old right now, I would be driving everywhere. I would be hanging out with my friends every day. I would have sleepovers. I would go shopping. I would go on road trips. I would just like go, and I would be able to, like I mentioned, drive and walk and graduate high school and look at colleges, and that's not my life. And that is okay that it is not my life. I don't accept that every day, but it is not my life. In conclusion, in this video that kind of was a little talk therapy with me and you, when you turn 18 with a chronic illness, there are so many things to consider. Doctors, hospitals, privileges of who can access your medical records and make medical decisions for you. And yeah, so I'm not your typical 18-year-old. I can't drive. I'm not graduating high school this year. Don't think I'm going to go down the college path, at least a 4-year college, and I think that's okay. It's okay to be different, it's okay to be you, and it is okay to live life anyway. So my life is different. I will be a very different 18-year-old, but that doesn't govern how I live my life, might I just say. That's all I'm gonna say. But MIDO can't stop me. Just because it stops milestones doesn't mean it will stop me in other endeavors. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little all over the place, but I hope this brought you guys some comfort and just some encouragement that keep fighting, and if you have to find new doctors, keep fighting for them, keep fighting for a great hospital, keep fighting for being able to choose your own medical decisions, and just have the long-term thought process medically of like, okay, if I was ever in a situation, who would I want to choose something for me? And you might not be comfortable with anyone choosing a medical decision for you, but the camera is about to get full, so don't forget to like this video. Stay tuned for my 18th birthday vlog, and I'm excited for that. And like this video, subscribe down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.